Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Stacey West YouTube channel. I am Ben, and this Saturday, the Imps are at home to newly promoted Wrexham at Sincil Bank, and I am delighted to be joined by Tim from Fearless in Devotion to talk about the game and indeed Wrexham season. How you doing, mate? You keeping well?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just been a bit of a weird, whatever 72 hours, whatever it is. So it's just it doesn't make any sense to me. It just like the rest of the football world, I'd imagine it's a bit like, why them? I guess. But it's the same sort of thing I used to say about loads of other teams, including you guys. Really, remember the sort of under the Cowleys and all that sort of stuff. So I suppose every dog has its day.
Absolutely, mate. Look, we all know, I think we all know the story. I mean, we've been pretty blunt about some of the things on our podcast as well with regard to, I'll be completely honest with you. There's been points this season where we've just went, look, let them get promoted, let them just get out of the division and they can do the championship thing and we'll all be happy again. But from looking at it from outside in, from a football fan's perspective, I mean, Wrexham as a club have had such history with everything, and it's obviously been a very tough time. And now you've done back to back for the first time in English football history. I mean, we spoke with somebody else a little bit earlier on in the season, but just if you can sort of distill it into a sentence or two, what has the past few seasons been like for you as a fan and the rest of the guys from Fearless and Devotion?
Classic whirlwind, really. It's just that first season where we came sort of close, but yet so far with the Grimsby defeat. And I just remember sitting there thinking, is it ever going to happen? You just had this belief that it was never quite going to happen, despite the incoming change in fortunes. And you just thought, maybe this is just how it's supposed to be. Maybe that we're supposed to be here. Maybe we're meant to be here for a lot longer than 15 years. But I think that would be a little bit unfair. I think that's more than enough time served. So to recruit the way we did in that first season, to get out with 111 points in such a titanic battle with Notts County, and then the bounce from that was incredible for League Two. And I kind of don't want to say bounce again, really, but there's a lot to be said for the momentum aspect and just tweaking the squad and recruiting very, very sensibly. I think there was something in the press today that Wrexham has spent like $5 and a bit million on player transfers, which is probably significantly less than what a lot of people think or would like to think.
Yeah.
So you look at that over the course of those seasons, you're thinking, well, that's £1 million per season on transfers, not as bad as maybe many were making it out to be, but it's just crazy. It doesn't compute, and I don't think it will compute. Really, I've looked at the highlights, I've read the stuff, and it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't look right. But I'll enjoy the weekend, and maybe that's when it'll sink in. It'll feel more like a bit of a party, and then we can all go away and press reset for a bit and a well-earned break. And I think it'll kick in when we start signing some more players that we have to sign to really put a stamp on it and go again. And when the fixtures come out, no doubt when the fixtures come out, it'll really kind of ram home that, okay, this is this is where you start going, right, where's that first possible win coming from? And that's not being negative. I just think that there comes a significant shift in standard of opposition and expectation, really. I said at the start of the season that I still felt we would do it, and a lot of people scoffed at it, and it wasn't a case of being too greedy. I just felt that the momentum was there, and just the recruitment has been so good. It's been great since the start. So I just thought if we were in and around the sort of top six, we might have had a chance. And we've always been in that chasing pack pretty much. So we've been consistent in that regard, and we're just very difficult to beat for the most part. So yeah, it's just wild. I don't know what, I can't believe I'm excited to go to Norwich. Who'd have thought that?
I mean, yeah, there aren't many reasons to get excited to go to Norwich, but I suppose a third successive promotion and playing Championship football is definitely one of them. So I mean, really, what I kind of wanted to get from this more than anything was, what would you say? Obviously, recruitment and stuff away from the pitch has been quite strong. On the pitch, what's really been the key to Wrexham's success this season? Has there been a defining sort of ethos, or a style of play that you've stuck to, or is it just a case of we've kept consistent with the players that we've had in the side? Is there anything in particular that you can pinpoint and say, yeah, that's what's really helped us this season?
Resilience, probably. We've kind of started off quite well, and then even if we do kind of not find our shooting beats, we're still notoriously, for the most part, tough to break down. I think we've got well over a dozen 1-0 wins this season, which kind of tells its own story. You took a quarter of the season by one goal. You kind of, maybe there's elements of fortune in there as well. But we're always hanging in there. There's always a moment of quality somewhere that will tend to break it, So that, and the acquisitions of players that have come in and sort of got us over the line. Obviously, Sam Smith came in. There was the main big buy along Jay Rodriguez, and a lot of hoo-ha was made around, what about Palmer and Mullin, etc. And I can understand it. I felt it a little bit, but then you got to look at the bigger picture and go, well, they had a significant amount of games and the goals weren't flowing. So what do you do? Stick or twist? If he sticks with them and still the goals don't flow and those 1-0s then become 0-0s or 1-0 reversals, people then say, why didn't he go and get somebody in the January transfer window? He's done that. He's put them straight into it, and it's paid off. So you have to kind of say, well, the guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's got 6 promotions under his belt now. I think there's not many more managers that have managed to do that in British football. So you got to take your hat off to him.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it, like you say, I think it speaks to being able to do that. Going out in January and, like you say, buying a striker, and we've again been completely honest with you, a few eyebrows were raised on the podcast for us when what would seemingly be a kind of regular, in inverted commas, League One transfer from a player going from Reading to Wrexham. It's like, oh, okay, cool, and then you see how much it is, and it's like, oh, it's in the in the 7-figure range. It's like, bloody hell, that's not something that we're used to seeing at this level, but it's clearly working, and it is, it's worked for you guys, and it's I suppose it's not being a case of, well, we'll just throw as much money as we possibly can at it and see what sticks. But it's definitely been there's been a lot of thought behind the recruitment as well. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of fans that, and I think I said this when I came on with you guys earlier on in the season. I think there is probably a little bit of jealousy in there from a lot of fans when they look at it and go, oh, they're just throwing money at it. But then you look at a lot of stuff that's gone on behind the scenes as well. You think, they're getting a lot of that right as well. So, yeah.
This is the thing, isn't it? It shouldn't be straight up jealousy. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of self-reflection. Is it jealousy because the people at those other clubs aren't willing to try and follow suit or try and tap into the community aspect and really kind of pull that along and invest in it, which is what they've done. They've bought into businesses in the town and so much more. You could write books about it. So the way it's been done has been very prudent and very clever, alongside the sort of profile that's been raised by the documentary and the owners themselves and everything else that comes with it. And it's just very surreal. We've got minority investors on now who their net worth eclipses Rob and Ryan's by some significant margin. So there's kind of this thing, well, is that going to be the handover in future? Is that where it's going to? It'll be interesting to see where the money comes from next season, like who's going to cough up the most and what for. because we're going to be operating on a slightly smaller attendance next year because the new stand's getting built and it's got to be done at some point. So it's going to have to be a kind of case of now and never, really. So yeah, lots of things going on, and it's honestly all week I'm like, doesn't Wrexham Championship are like two words that don't seem to go together, because it's never been in my lifetime. We never really expected it, or maybe we half expected, but maybe nowhere near so soon. And if it all goes wrong, we've kind of got that to fall back on. We can all say, well, we were a little bit ahead of ourselves. So we've kind of got like a free kind of get out of jail card. But the owners and the management won't see it that way. They'll definitely be thinking of a different route.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of people are probably going to see it as a bit of a free hit for you guys next season. And obviously don't want to start previewing the Championship, but it's probably going to be similar to how we were when we came up into League One. It's survive at first and then start building from there. So, I mean, I'm sure there will be other people that will see it differently, but we'll see what happens with that one. So let's move towards the game then. Obviously, the game at the racecourse earlier, late last year was one that we spoke about at length after the fact, because I think I got in touch and said I think we all felt as Lincoln fans absolutely gutted after that game, because it was. I don't think I'd be out of turn saying that I thought we were the better side for the majority of the game, and then when the ball goes in off Tendai Tariq's backside, you think, oh well, it's just not going to be our night, is it? And it was in one of those bad runs of form for us where we just couldn't seem to buy a win at any point. And I mean, how did you see that game at the time? Was it kind of one of those where you think, oh, we got away with that one there, or was that another step in the another rung in the ladder essentially of just getting to where you needed to be?
Oh, I don't really know. I mean, it's the season's gone so quick, all things considered, and obviously the way it's ended has been like kind of glittery eye moments. So maybe a kind of, I wouldn't say it was a step on the way. I mean, word has it on good authority that Phil Parkinson said that at the start of the season he felt that they could do it again if they added the right ingredients to the mix, really. So you can't doubt a man's confidence who's managed to do it twice. So you got to go, well, he must feel something or know something, and he must have the right idea of what he wants to happen. So I think back then, I don't know where we were at that time. I still don't think we had any desires on remotely going up automatically. I always felt that. I always felt that
we would. Wickham were quite serious about, it seemed like it was Birmingham, Wickham that were going to be the ones going up.
Yeah, so you never get. I don't think any of us really got carried away until probably late January, early February. I think when things started to click into gear, the supposed bad away form suddenly became amazing. I think we got like the best or the second best away record in the division out of nowhere, which I couldn't quite believe. So yeah, Shrewsbury, God bless their League Two bound souls, did us a favour by defeating us, and then I think we won everyone bar Reading away after that, which is bonkers, really. So I think at the time it was a case of, great, this is another 3 points on the board. Let's just see where it takes us. And that's the good thing about the manager. It comes from him. He never gets too carried away about stuff, and he kind of portrays that onto the fan base and say, yeah, it's a good win, but that's all it is for the time being. And he'll pull things from it that he was happy with. He'll pull things from it he wasn't happy with, like any decent manager would, regardless of what the scoreline is. So yeah, it's a weird one. I'll look back. I'll sit down after Saturday and look back over the season and go, right, let's sit down and kind of regress and look on it with some fond memories, because you don't know how long we're going to be gone for. It could be one season, it could be 5, it could be 10. You just don't know, do you? So it's always worth looking back on as definitely another positive stepping stone.
Yeah, I mean, I was gutted after that game. I'm not going to lie. It was just one where I thought it was kind of the story of our season, be pretty decent, and then it's gone in off somebody. So coming to Saturday then, I suppose the big question that I think a lot of Lincoln fans are probably going to be asking is just how big is the party that's going on in Wrexham at the moment, and will the players still be out on Thursday night? and how fragile do you think they might be come Saturday afternoon?
Well, I mean, they've definitely been partying, and even the most, placid pros like young Max, who's been brilliant. He was named in the team of the year, the AFL team of the year the other day. There's videos of him just like absolutely plastered in Mackies, just singing about the circus and referring to Nathan Jones's comments of the weekend. So yeah, but they're a good bunch. They'll have had that extended break, and he will probably almost certainly. I'd imagine he's given up off until now, and then they'll be back in for training tomorrow, Thursday, maybe a light session Friday, and with the way the world these days, they'll probably fly. It's what they do, it's what they do these days, which is a bit mad. But I genuinely have no idea what team is going to field. There's a lot of suggestions that, well, because it's now done, do you then play some of the other people who have championed those others from behind the scenes and haven't had much game time? Do you then throw those in, give them a chance? It always tends to happen, doesn't it? But then it would be nice to get into the 90-point realm. It's catch-22, because if Stockport win and we don't, then all of a sudden they're so much closer to us, and it just makes it hurt that little more for them, especially if they cook it up in the playoffs. So that would be funny. But yeah, the sort of fan party will be in full swing, and there's definitely a lot of fancy dress plans for many of us. They released more tickets today. I'm not sure how many they gave us, but they released a few more, and they all went in like minutes. So yeah, people are going to be enjoying it, and I think it will be more enjoyable, because it was a bit of a whirlwind on Saturday, with it being a late kickoff as well. And by the time you get out the ground, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're trying to find people to celebrate with, and it's 11:30, and you're like, oh, wow, where do I go next? What do I do now? So yeah, I think it'll sink in a little bit more this weekend, what the sort of magnitude of what's been achieved, really.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned, Max Cleworth there. Any other real standouts for you this season? Anybody that you've gone, either they've come through the ranks, as I know Max has. I think a few seasons ago he was in your under 18s side, and now he's going to be playing championship football. Is there anybody that's kind of alongside him in the estimations of your players from this season?
Oh, there's quite a few that you'd put up for player of the season. Arthur, the Conquer and goal's been tremendous. I can't remember how many clean sheets he's got now. It's quite a lot. And there's rumours circulating today that he might be due or receiving a Nigeria call up, which would be amazing. Especially now, it's kind of dawned on all of us that we now qualify for an international break, so there'll be no Wrexham Wales clashes. So you can go to both. So so there's none of those happening anymore, or entering the FA Cup until the third round. All these crazy things that you benefit from. So him is definitely up there. Ollie Rathbone's been unbelievably good. He's probably going to win player of the season. Midfielder, just got him from Rotherham, and he's just almost like a throwback to an old all-action midfielder, where he will appear from nowhere and steal the ball off you. When you're at school and you're trying to show off and do a couple and dribble, and then your mate nicks it off you from behind you. He's that sort of player, and you think, you bastard, you just made me look absolutely foolish in front of 12,000 people. So I love that. I love that about him. He just loves it. He just loves it. He's like, classic street footballer type that just plays it for the love of the game, and anything else is just a bonus, really. So he's been great. So probably those three stand out. Ryan Barnett again was in was in team of the season. Lots of assists early part of the year. Then Ryan Longman came in from Hull and kind of challenged him for that spot. So that's been more competitive on that side. But again, still very good player. And I'm gonna, just for shit-ass purposes, I'm gonna chuck James McLean in there, because despite his age and very placid, well-meaning demeanour, he's been great. He's captained us to promotion to the championship. Every time I say it, I have to laugh because it just doesn't. It's just weird, man. It's so weird, honestly.
It'll compute at some point.
I'm sure it will, but it's just like I say it, I laugh because it's not nervous laughter. It's like disbelieving internal chaos because I'm like, what has happened and what is about to happen? And then when we get pumped in the first 4 games or something, and then people go, oh, what's this losing lark? And they start, and then all of a sudden the fan base resets a little bit. So it'd be very interesting. There's so many dynamics to come out of what might or might not happen in the next few months. I guess August time onwards.
Well, there we go. I mean, look, we'd normally do a prediction for the game on Saturday, but I'm pretty sure both of us we're just going to come back with the same response of it probably doesn't matter all that much.
Well, it's a weird one for me because I mean, Lincoln was one of the first ones I noticed on the fixture list, primarily because obviously we fell out. Our last game in the Football League before we dropped into non-league was at Lincoln. Mm-hmm. I think we won that game 4-2, and it was a weird game, and there was no pressure on us. You were safe. I can't remember where you'd finished, but there was no drama on you guys, and it was amazing. Everybody did fancy dress again, and everybody ran onto the pitch. There's a line of stewards, and then some guy broke through the line of stewards. I thought, this guy's going to thump me here. And he came up to me and he gave me his Lincoln scarf. He put it around my neck. He went, don't worry about it, and good luck, and hopefully you'll come back next year. And I've never forgotten that. So if that guy's watching this pod and it's genuinely you, and you're still with us on this mortal coil, can't remember how old he was. He's probably in his 50s. So, call it another 15 years, whatever it is now. Come and find me, I owe you a drink. So I've always had a little soft spot in a strange way, and the fact that this has always potentially been a full circle moment, which it now is. To be there the last time in the league, in the Football League, and be relegated out of it, to now coming back and being promoted to the highest place we've been in 4.5 decades is it's just very, very, very otherworldly, to use another phrase.
Well, I'm actually really glad you brought up that scarf story, because it was one that I'd kept in my mind after we spoke before, and I was like, you know what, if we get you on, we'll have a chat about that, and we'll see if we can find the fan.
I've been looking everywhere for that scarf. I was in the attic and everything yesterday. I couldn't find it. I know I've got it. I know it's here. I bet after all that, I'll be on my mum and dad's house, but I can still vividly see it. So yeah, that was a bit of a chaotic day off the pitch beforehand, if you can remember all the newspaper reports and everything else. But yeah, just a crazy day, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm coming down for the weekend, so I'm down there Friday to Sunday. Nice. Yeah, I just every time I've been there, I just thought it's just a nice city to stay in. It definitely trumps staying in Blackpool the other week. I sort of decided against it. I'm glad I made that decision because, wow, yeah, it needs a bit of investment. It always has done.
Yeah, is probably all you need to say when it comes to that one. We've been there before. No. Yeah, we've been there and done that ourselves. But look,
not great.
Tim, massive pleasure having you on, mate. Yeah, from I would imagine the majority of fans, it's just been a bit surreal, but also kind of good to see that it's a club with decent roots, having a bit of success, even though it's through some slightly unconventional methods. Yeah, well, floor's yours for 20-30 seconds or so. Just give yourself a little bit of a plug, let people know where they can find you, and then we shall wrap up.
Well, you just mentioned there, unconventional, but conventions are there to be broken and twisted and amended if it's done in a positive manner, I guess. So, but yeah, you can find us, Fearless in Devotion, on all the platforms pretty much. Please don't be those people who go, oh, well, they're not in our division now, unfollow. We can still be quite funny and witty, and especially if we get pumped, 4 or 5, you're going to see our sunny dispositions wiped off our faces. And it'll be back to putting on the shades, because I had to wear my shades every day because, I wasn't in a great way after the 12 hours of partying or whatever it was on Saturday night. So, yes, go and seek us out, and we all enjoy it. This is why us mere mortals just do this thing. We give up our time to do it, don't we, for the love of our clubs? And if we get most of it right, great. If we don't, then we're not perfect.
100%, mate. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, look, thank you again for joining us, mate. It's much appreciated, and we will see you guys for some more previews next season. And thank you for watching all of them this season. It's been genuinely appreciated. And of course, we'll have some more podcasts coming soon. And I'm not entirely sure what the plan is for closed season. We're going to discuss it very soon. But yeah, until next time, up the Imps.
Lincoln City are the team, the race is their name. Since the bank is their home ground and football is their game. So come and cheer them on, you lads, support them all the way.